For Standard B, Culture and Teaching of Learning, I look at several pieces of evidence. I do attend leadership team meetings, PLC meetings. I also attend principal meetings that they're doing with their staff. But I'm looking at how are they involving their teachers? How are they using those high quality teachers, their leadership teachers, to develop their maybe struggling teachers? I do look at that. I look at how are they involving the community? What are some things that they're doing to impact the community in their school? Are they having meetings with community members, with stakeholders? How are they engaging them in the process for building their culture and setting their expectations for the school year?
So some examples of the types of evidence that I have collected for Standard B, Culture for Teaching and Learning, specifically with environment. We have our student-teacher handbooks. We have really worked over the past couple of years to simplify our school-wide procedures and our expectations and disciplinary practices. So it might include things like arrival and dismissal procedures, or cafeteria expectations, even hallway transitions. We also focus on a school-wide collaborative effort of high expectations for our staff and students. So we have consistent mini-school expectations and procedures, and our teachers develop those at the beginning of each year, and they submit those to administration. We use discipline reports through Skyward and through just the office referrals that might come in, through our school counselors to develop some Tier 2 behavioral supports and Tier 3 behavioral supports. We use our attendance reports to identify our chronically absent students, and we also develop plans of support, tiered supports for those students as well. We also have a safety drill compliance report that I'll use for that particular standard, and we create threat assessments and safety plans for students. As far as ownership for Standard B, I ask for frequent feedback from students, staff, parents. I'll do this through Microsoft Forms very often, and so I'll pull some of that. But a big piece of that particular standard is the Tennessee Educator Survey. That is a piece of evidence that is very clear, very intentional, and is used school-wide so that we can make improvements where needed, and so that we can celebrate and recognize in those areas that the survey shows.
Looking at Standard B, a culture for teaching and learning, in the environment indicator, one of the things that we look for in our administrators is visibility within the building. We know as administrators are visible, it fosters a safe and a respectful environment here in our school. So that's one of the pieces of evidence that I use to collect, is the visibility of administrators within our building. We also look at the data from discipline data to see, are we being firm, fair, and consistent across our administrative team when it comes to addressing those negative behaviors. And last, we also look at the recognition and celebration indicator. This is something that we believe is so important in our building, is to recognize and celebrate both the students and teachers and educators in our building. One of the ways that we collect evidence for this is to watch and monitor how administrators are celebrating students. Our administrative staff in this building does a great job celebrating students through verbal recognition and also those handwritten cards that we send home to students throughout the year, celebrating their successes both in academics and their extracurriculars. Also, we've had one of our administrators start this year a shout-out program where teachers and other educators nominate one another through an online form, and then we highlight those in our weekly memos to our staff members. So those weekly memos serve as another evidence collection point of how we're recognizing and celebrating the educators in our building for the great things they do each and every day.